Okay, let's talk about benefit statements. Now, a benefit statement is something you're going to use in a business plan, but also for your marketing efforts. This is not a one-off or one-use only statement. This is something that you might use over and over again, and over time, you might hone it to make it better. A benefit statement is a statement that clearly communicates to the customer the benefit of your product or service. And your benefit statement should help the customer to understand the true value of your product or service, and it'll help them make a purchase off of that rather than a list of features. But what's the difference between a feature and a benefit? Now, a feature is going to highlight some aspect, quality, or uniqueness of your problem. For example, our staff has decades of experience, or our toilet paper is the strongest and unrolls better than the competition. See, those are all features. Decades of experience, feature. Toilet paper that's stronger than the competition, feature. Unrolls better than the competition, feature. Benefits put the spotlight on the customer and the experience, positive feelings, and the results that they will receive as a result of using your product or service. This is the what's in it for me. And at the end of the day, consumers are going to part with their hard-earned money if they know that they're going to get some benefit out of your product or service. Now, as you write a benefit statement, I want you to think of this. The most compelling benefits are the ones that provide an emotional or financial return for a customer. And so you'll want to think about that as you're writing this benefit statement. Emotional returns are meant to make the customer feel something. Building an emotional connection with your customer is a powerful advertising tool. And so you want to keep that in mind. Financial returns generally save or make money for the customer. Now, in this day and age, at the time of the recording of this, we were dealing with the highest ever inflation that we've experienced in a long time, over 40 years. And so sometimes a benefit is going to be how the customer is going to save time or money. Your product or service has to deliver an emotional or financial solution and satisfy those corresponding needs. We call this a job to be done, or it won't be successful. Let's walk through some of the steps that are going to help you to write a compelling benefit statement. Now, if it helps you, go ahead and get a piece of paper and start to jot some of this down. You can pause the video, go back and catch this, and I'll have a list below this video to help you. Now, number one, or step one, you need to identify the biggest problem your customers are facing. Focus groups, surveys, and customer interviews all are great ways to help you understand what it is that the customer is facing, their problems, and that is something you need to start with. What is it that they're struggling with? Many times people start businesses because they themselves experienced a problem and they had this epiphany that, oh my goodness, this is a problem that exists in the market and I have an idea of a way to fix it. And so that's how businesses typically get born, in that way. Now, step two, you want to start to spotlight the benefits of your product or service that the customer is going to enjoy from your solution, from using your product or service. In this list, you're going to make a list, select one of the biggest impacts that will encompass all of your customers' personas. Now, that means that you have to understand who your ideal customer is. And you'll want to go back and watch one of those videos on developing your customer avatar or ideal customer. And you want to make sure that this spotlights the way it tackles the biggest problems that they face. What is the problem that they face and how does it tackle it? Now, step three, you're going to highlight a feature. Now, I said earlier that you want to focus in on benefits, but the problem is you can't just focus in on a benefit without highlighting a feature. And the feature has to be the aspect of your product or service that most will alleviate the problem that exists for your customer. Now, some of the things that you can do when you're writing a benefit statement is to use numbers, because numbers, backing up numbers and measurements are many ways to really impact that that feeling and drive it home. For example, you may have heard a toothpaste commercial that said 4 out of 5 dentists, 4 out of 5 doctors. Make sure that you can back that up with fact, though. Now, let's go ahead and do an activity. At the end of this video, what I want you to do is get a piece of paper. And on that piece of paper, I want you to write down all of the benefits that you believe that your product or service is going to provide to the market, to the consumer. Then on another sheet of paper, or if you want to put it on the opposite side, so you split the paper down the middle, on another paper or on the opposite side of the paper, I want you to write down all of the features that your product or service has. So you're going to have on a piece of paper all the benefits and all the features. That will help you to really hone in on the things that are going to be most important for you when you write this benefit statement.